Changgyeonggung Palace is situated right next to Changdeokgung Palace. The palace was completed in 1484 when King Seongjong, the ninth king of the Chosun dynasty, was the ruling monarch. It is said that the palace was built for King Seongjong's grandmother, Queen Jung-hee, who wished to live in her own palace. But more importantly, the palace was built to allow King Seongjong to concentrate on ruling the kingdom. When King Seongjong became king, he had to pay his respects to Queen Jung-hee and two other queen mothers every day as part of his royal duties. He would greet them every morning and bid them a good night every evening. Thus, an adjacent palace to the main palace was built for the queens to save the king's precious time. But Queen Jung-hee passed away before Changgyeonggung Palace was completed. In her will, she wished that her grandson, King Seongjong, would become a good and wise king. The Queen Mother in the kingdom also makes her the mother of the state. As the mother of the state, she must be able to love the people as her own children. Therefore, the royal palace would go to great lengths to select the right wife for the princes and crown princes, because one day these wives could become the next queen and mother of the state. Tongmyeongjeon. This building held the sleeping quarters of the queen. As a royal building for the queen, it was grandly designed. Since the queens also became the mothers of the state, they had to carry out royal duties such as managing the numerous court ladies and promoting the production of silk among the people. Thus, the queen would participate in the process of making silk to set a good example to everyone in the kingdom. Tongmyeongjeon. The namesake of Tongmyeongjeon includes the meaning that yin and yang flow in a state of harmony in this place, so bear the traditional heir to the throne. The namesake of Kyotaejeon in Changdeokgung Palace also has a similar meaning to Tongmyeongjeon's. It is evident that the people of the Chosun dynasty wished to have a wise and good king who could bring peace to the kingdom. In a building with a tiled roof, a ridge made out of white samhwato would usually be set on top of the building to prevent any water from leaking through the roof. A ridge would also keep away snakes and wild animals from the building. But in the Tongmyeongjeon, where the queen slept, the roof of the building would not have a ridge, yongmaru. The ridge was intentionally left out because the dragon would sleep in Tongmyeongjeon. The dragon was a symbol that represented the king, so it was a bad idea to place a ridge, yongmaru, on top of the building where the king would sleep and eventually produce an heir to the throne. The queen and wife of the crown prince enjoyed frequent trips to this pond. This place was specially made for the women of the palace, since they were not allowed to leave the palace once they set foot inside. At an early age, the queen and wife of the crown prince had to follow the strict ways of life in the palace, but at this place, they were able to relax and view the beautiful scenery around them. There was a spring behind Tongmyeongjeon that gushed with cold water, and the water was diverted to make a small pond in the palace. The waterway connecting the spring to the pond was made with granite. Cheonggyeonggung Palace is the place where King Jeongjo was born. He became the most reform-minded king in the history of the Joseon dynasty and deeply loved the people. This is where Hyegeung-gung-hong, the wife of Sado Seja, gave birth to King Jeongjo. King Jeongjo was only about 10 years old when his father, Sado Seja, died. King Yeongjo, who was the father of Sado Seja and also the grandfather of King Jeongjo, was remembered as a great king who cared about his people. But during his rule, King Yeongjo made his grandson Jeongjo and Hyegeung-gung-hong suffer terribly. By his own orders, he locked Sado Seja, his beloved son, in a grain storage room where he died from suffocation. As soon as King Jeongjo became the new king, he built Ja-gyeongjun for his mother, Hyegeung-gung-hong, who became a widow at the young age of 27. Ja-gyeongjun was built to face Sado Seja's shrine, which was located inside of Gyeongmo-gung Palace. King Jeongjo stayed in Yeongchunhan, which was situated right below Hyegeung-gung-hong's building, so that he could be near her all the time. For his mother, Hyegeung-gung-hong, he held a magnificent banquet in Hwasong Fortress in Suwon on her 60th birthday, where the grave of Sado Seja rested. However, a few years later, King Jeongjo suddenly died after contracting a disease. He was only 48 years old at the time. It is said that the sadness that overcame Hyegeung-gung-hong was indescribable. She had lived as a widow for 40 years, and her son, King Jeongjo, was the only person who brought happiness to her. "15 years after King Jeongjo suddenly passed away, Hyegeung-gung-hong dies in Gyeongchunjeon, ending her grief-stricken life. She left behind a will to Sunjo, who was her grandson and the son of King Jeongjo as well. She wished that Sunjo would become a wise and great king like his dad.